Fiverifians, welcome to our weekly live chat. Don't know what to do with my hands today. Don't know what I'm doing. Now, brain just completely froze. We have got a bit of internet interference happening, so I'm hoping it's not too bad today. Also, I'm trying out some new audio, so let me know if you can hear me okay, if it's too quiet. Don't forget you can also adjust your own volume as well. So yeah, I've noticed that we've got a bit of a lag between what I'm saying and what's coming up. So fingers crossed it all works. Yeah, so let me know in the chat if you can hear me and everything's going okay. I've got so many Christmas projects on the go at the moment. I don't know about you guys. Like, for those of you in the US, it is Thanksgiving Eve, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Here in Australia, we don't really do Thanksgiving, so we're already rolling into Christmas. And there we go. I'll just bump that sound up a little bit. So let me know how that goes. Yeah, so we're already rolling into Christmas, and we are sort of seeing how that goes. And you know, we've got some weeks to get our stuff done. I'm just slowly increasing the volume. I don't want to go too hard because I definitely don't want what happened last week to happen again. I'm very sorry about that. Andrea says the weather is playing havoc with everyone here at the moment. It is insane here at the moment. It is hot and it is muggy. I've got the air conditioning on in here, and I've had it in here all morning, and it is just insanity. So it is, yeah, I've been playing with some stuff. Someone's commented that the look and the sound is great, so I'm hoping that it's not, you know, glitching, but I have changed how I set things up. I'll pop a photo up later of how I'm doing. Normally my table's the other way, like facing the window, but I've got a curtain now so I can control the lighting, so that we can try not have so much blowout of the brightness off the things off our table, especially considering today I'm working in like a cream undyed color. So yeah, it is not great. Kim is saying Stevie Wonder for a reason, guys. So Kim, I showed Kim a behind the scenes photo because she was here when I was talking about getting a new curtain rail in here. And because I'm trying a new microphone, this is an actual proper, you know, like you could hold it and sing with it kind of microphone. It actually is one of my singing microphones, but I'm trying it out to see if it was the actual microphones on my little recorder that were damaged, or if it is. Or if it was the actual audio interface which I need to run the live stream. So it seems that it might be the little microphones that are broken, so that's horrible. But anyway, so I've got like a proper, you know, like the black microphone, and she reckons I should like knock out some Stevie Wonder, which will not be happening. I just need to clarify that. Not happening. Definitely not happening. So I want to say welcome to the new subscribers of the channel, Michelle McGinn and Zebra Kitten, who joined in through the week. Thank you so much for subscribing, and if you're here in the chat, welcome. To those of you that are in the chat or just lurking in the chat, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It actually makes it so YouTube realize that people actually enjoy what we're doing here, and let those that are subscribed even and have notifications know that it's running. So yeah, it's insane. So Alison says the dust storm has just reached us here in Sydney along with some light rain. Oh my god. So if you want to Google dust storm in Sydney, they've got some serious red dust coming. Visibility is near impossible. Apparently it's not going to be as bad as 2008 or whatever the last one was, but that one was really bad. So this is still going to be bad. So those of you down in Sydney, we're thinking about you. The rain may help, may not help. You might need a lot more. Alison says she's had to turn the volume up a bit, but everything is okay. So I'm a little nervous, guys. I'm a little nervous about pumping my volume too hard. I can tweak it up just a smidgy more here, and we'll see what happens, all right? Just a dash more, and we'll see how we go. I'm really trying to not deafen people. Let me have a look here in the chat. Game Widow says it's cool but sunny, so that's awesome. Joss says she can only hear me in one earpiece. Okay, so yeah, so this particular thing is going to be, it's in mono rather than stereo. My other microphones were a bit different, so it's only picking it up in one audio track. So if you are listening in headphones, you may, you know, just need the one today. I'm very sorry. I'm not quite sure how to adjust for that, short of getting a second microphone, woo, and get all fancy. I am in the processes of organizing myself a lavalier microphone, you know, the ones that that, well, I'll actually have mine just inside my shirt, but the ones that clip in. Am I in mono? I am, yes, because this is how this microphone goes. I cannot do a dual. The other one had two little microphones, so it's picking up a double signal. This one's just got the one, I'm afraid. So yeah, definitely in mono. Which I'm sorry about, guys. I didn't realize it would be such a big thing. If you're listening on computers and what have you, you probably won't notice it as much, but if you're with headphones, you'll definitely notice it. Kim says, just put on some sunnies and wave your head around. I'm not doing that, Kim. Definitely not doing that. Hi, Angie Strasser. Welcome to the chat. And all the Kims. We've got Kim Harrison and Kim Nelson and Kim Scullen. Thank you to the moderators who are here in the chat today. We've got Kim Scullen, Jackie Doyle. If these guys have got little blue spanners, this means if you are naughty, they can whack you with the spanner. They can time out, they can delete your comments, and if we need links, they can pop in links. But you guys, the rest of you in chat, you can't add links, okay? So don't try, it'll just frustrate you. So we've got lots of people happening in the chat. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up. I can't actually see how we're going for thumbsing upsings, so we'll see how that goes. We can hear you swallowing coffee if you have that mic. You can. I'm sorry, but you might just have to listen to me swallow coffee if I get the other mic. I'll try and swallow quietly. But, you know, it doesn't always work. Kim's for the wins. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I've got a new Christmas project here. I know. I still haven't finished my tree skirt, but I do have it here. And I definitely have come along since the last time you guys saw. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oops, there's some thread. Cotton. No, it's not cotton. What am I talking about? It's acrylic. Get back in the bag, you. We've got 5 out of the 6 squares done. This one that has got the extra red already on the outside, this is the first square. It's a join as you go pattern. So what I was doing is I wanted to get the other 5, so including this one, 6 already. So 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. I just need to do 1 more of these and then I can start getting them into their circle and start the next step, which is getting this big white star in. So I haven't forgotten it, but I needed a little break from the granny square. So those of you that don't know me, I've got the attention span of a, I don't know, what's something that's got a really small attention span, because I've stopped that sentence already. So thank you, Kim, for letting people know that I'm in mono today. We'll try and work out what we can do about that. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. Kim says, I know it's too late, but did you see the Christmas tree skirt that I posted in the link group? I did. I had a quick look, but I want to have another look at it because I think it looks really cool. I'm looking over here, guys, because that's where the chat is. So sorry about that. I've just realized I've been looking over there a lot. Where are we? We get to whack Kim with the spanner when she is naughty. That would be me. That would be me. I get to whack all the moderators when they're naughty. So, yeah. It's Crochet Clock. Welcome to the chat. Crochet Clock is a mod here as well. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for popping in. The attention span of a Kim. Oh, there you go. Kathleen Champ says, no headphones. It just kicked in. We've got a storm brewing. Oh, no. Oh, everyone's got some serious weather happening. It's insane. This time of the year is always crazy. We've always got these like massive events. We've got Thanksgiving for those of you in the US. We've got Christmas coming up for everybody, and we're all traveling and we're all running around the shops and we're all doing things, and then you have these massive sort of like seasonal weather events hit at the same time. So everyone be safe, okay? Everyone be safe. I often have the attention span smaller than that of a gnat. See, I don't know what kind of attention span a gnat has. I assume it's small because they're small, but they could be like serious thinkers and we just don't know. They could really consider the food that they eat, although probably not. Probably not. So Stephanie is multitasking. What is Stephanie doing? Oh, she's at work but trying to participate as much as she can. Thanks, Stephanie. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody. Unusually Awesome says that there's lots of rain in Tasmania today. Oh, wow. Goldfish, 3 seconds. Well, that's true. Cindy Nicholas has had no internet for 3 days. I'm so sorry, Cindy, but welcome to the chat. So yeah, that's a nice hard. Yeah, Kim's being a goldfish now. So I've got my water, I've got my coffee. What beverages are you guys onto? Different time zones mean different things. Some of you might have beer. I'd be a bit jealous, but I've got coffee, so I'm okay. So the yarn that I'm using for these particular stars, I'm going to drag it in here, ready? It is on a cone. So this is how my undyed yarn arrives to me from the mills. And sometimes I'm feeling exceptionally lazy and can't be bothered turning it into a ball. So I literally am working off the cone. So I'm using the Craftsy, I'm just looking at it on my screen here, the Craftsy, I don't know what they've called it. How to crochet a star. So if you Google Craftsy crochet star, it'll come up. The picture's got a green one, a purple one, and a yellow one. And so there's some alternatives to this particular pattern. So you can do this guy here, which he's quite cute, but his little legs twist around. And if you want that, that's awesome. But I didn't want that. I needed something a bit stronger because I'm going to be hanging mine from the roof, and I want them to look very star-shaped from wherever. Okay. So I went with the option number 2, which is you're doing some slip stitching all around these edges here. And that's the only difference, is just the finish. And he looks great. He holds his shape heaps better. And this one's ready for me to dip into some dye. And this guy here, it was literally holding 2 strands together, doing that one with a bigger hook. You think I would have thought which hook it was to tell you, wouldn't you? What have I used? I've used a 4, so it might have been a 5, 5.5, because I still wanted it to be quite, you know, full. Now this particular yarn I'm using here is the oh gosh, it's an old line of mine that I used to do and I don't do anymore, and I've got some yarn of it left. This is actually a fully feltable wool, so if you wash it with a bit of heat and agitation, it will felt, so we can actually make these stars close in a little more if we really wanted to. I quite like the stitch definition, so I'm not going to, but you totally could. I think it's sombrero. I'd have to double check. Again, you think I would have written that down, but no, not today. Kim Nelson has been slightly sidetracked with her MLC. Is that the one that you had, the lace one from not last month but the month before? Has your new one arrived? So where have we got? We've got Kim popping in a link for the Craftsy Crocheting Stars. Thank you, Kim. That's great. Daigo's grabbing a cup of coffee. Alison Key's got coffee and baklava. Alison, where's my baklava? Oh my god. I've only had substandard servo baklava, but I know I like it. So I would like to try the real proper stuff that the families who make it scoff at the servo baklava. Okay? Alright, so I need some, or a recipe or something. Kathleen says, I have to unload groceries before the rain kicks in. Oh, quick, Kathleen, be careful, don't slip. Lots of people are cold. Lots of people are hot. It depends on where we are in the world, isn't it? We're dying here in Queensland, honestly. Here in Brisbane, I swear to God, it would have to be 90% humidity today. I walk out of the shed and literally, like, out of this shack and just go, oh, because I've got it set to about 21 degrees C here, and it's pumping. It's not doing it. But the trick is if I put it to 22, it starts pumping hot air. So I have to have it at 21. Alison says, do you want some for Christmas? Well, Alison, that would be amazing. That would be unbelievable. Some silver and gold mixed in for sparkly would look lovely. Absolutely. Being able to use some of those gold fleck threads. See, oh my gosh, Jackie, I've got this stuff in my craft room in the house. I'm going to be totally doing some in the future. I do plan on dip dyeing some of these. Because I dye using citric acid, I'll make sure I do not dip dye the ones with the sparklies, because that dulls your sparklies. So, but oh yes, absolutely, use little sparkly yarns. You could even make, like I'm doing these in this because I've got a lot of this and I want to make a lot of stars, okay? Like at the moment I have 3 and I would like 100, but they don't take long to make. And I'm just using some DK weight yarn, a 4mm hook. I got my little scissors. So I suppose we should do some soon, but I'm still, you guys are like distracting with this amazing chat. It's so hard. Ivy May says, Kim Nelson says her new one arrived today, which is why she was late to chat. Okay, so do you like it is the question. It was a bit of a tough one, and County Kerry was a colour that I really love it. And so if you guys don't like the County Kerry colourway, don't tell me, because I'm in love with the County Kerry colourway and I want to make so many things with it. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I'm just going to go and click a ticker here. Hang on a second, my dog's going off. I'm going to peek my head out the window here. No, she's going off at nothing, I tell you. Okay, so Mystery Lace Club is what we're talking about, MLC. The Mystery Lace Club is a monthly yarn subscription that I create and post out each month. So in your box, you get a little box, and in your box, all wrapped up like a gift, is a high quality printed version of the pattern, enough yarn to make that pattern, and in at least one of the sizes. So I don't always put in enough yarn for the small size, I might put enough in for the medium size. It is always a lace project. Now, it's not always lace weight yarn. So this month we've been shipping out some what is it? It's a 4-ply yarn. So what's that, a sock weight? A number, someone throw a number at me for a sock weight yarn for the US girls. And so we've got the sock weight yarn going out today. So it's a 4-ply, but it's a really nice flat, it's a really nice sort of softer 4-ply, so it will make lace stitches really well. Then we've got some lace weight yarns that have gone out. We've even sent out some fluffy yarns, so some beautiful kid mohair silk. So we do all different sorts of yarns, and we make sure the yarn matches the pattern. And if the pattern requires beads, we include beads. We sometimes pop in stitch markers, little gifts and treats. There's always some sort of little chocky or sweet treat in there, zip locked up so it cannot destroy anything. So if you're interested in joining into the Mystery Lace Club family, there's a link that Jackie's just popped in. Thank you, Jackie, you're a champion. So Jackie's just popped a link in if you want to go and have a look at that, and it gives you lots more information, costs, and if you're in a country that's not listed in the shipping list, contact me and I will add you. I've just sort of started out with a few countries that I think would be interested, and then we can go from there. So Kim's saying it's a 2 and Sally's saying it's a 4. Oh my gosh, guys, which one is it? I don't know. I think it might be a 2. I thought it was a 2 or a 3, but a 4, isn't that more like isn't that like a DK or a light worsted? It's a fingering weight yarn. It's a number 2. It is baby weight, sock weight, 4-ply to the Aussies. There we go. Thank you, Kim. Kim Nelson says, I was wondering if there is any reason or thought behind the colours each month. Kim Nelson, there absolutely is. So I look at the pattern and I read the whole pattern and I go through and I think about it, and if the designer has a story to the pattern, I will try and match that colour to the story. I don't want to give away too much about this month's, but there is a definite story to it because it only shipped out like a day or 2 ago. Lots of people still don't have it, so I don't want to give away what the pattern is. But I do try and match the colours to the story of the pattern, or something that I think would really work well with the pattern. And I do try to make it so we don't have like blue, 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 or blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink. Do you know what I mean? Like I try to keep the colours moving. And generally I do that by changing the patterns around rather than changing the yarn colour, because I want those yarn colours to match up with the actual pattern and the yarns. So yeah, I do have a think about it. Actually probably have more fun with that than I probably should. But I do. I enjoy it a lot. Okay. We're still talking about the weights of yarn. Andrea says, I'd love to make a jumper with this month's colour. So Andrea, you are in the Mystery Lace Club. As a member of the Mystery Lace Club, you can contact me and order larger quantities of the yarn if you would like. It is one of the perks of being in the club. These colours are for club members only for 3 months. So if you're not in the club and you love a colour, if you want to go and have a look over on Ravelry, I'm not sure if there's a link up yet, I'm just having a quick look. Over on Ravelry there's a spoiler thread, so you can actually see what every Mystery Lace Club is that's already gone out. You can even see the one that just shipped out on the 20th, so 2 days ago. So Kim says, although according to yarn standards, socks is a number 1, sport is a number 2. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. No one, I do have a video, a YouTube video called Yarn Standards You Ain't Got None, or something along those lines, because there is no international acclaimed standard weights for yarns. So every country has its own names, it has its own weight system. Different yarns will fall into different weight systems, especially those sort of furry yarns. Sometimes they'll be considered a lace weight based on their centered yarn. Sometimes they'll be classed as a DK because they make a fatter stitch. So there are no standards, which I'm not going to go into because that is a rabbit hole and a half just for me, because it bugs me so much that there are no yarn standards across the world. We are an international, worldwide group of yarn crafters. Why can't we have a standard? Oh my gosh. Anyway, backing away from that topic very quickly. Ivy says that she loves her little Prezi in her MLC, which she'll be gifting to someone in particular, as she has an addiction to those items. Wow. So there we go. I think everyone got the same one, FYI. So if you guys are talking about what those particular little markers are, you all got the same. Kim has popped a link up to my yarn standards video. It's a bit of an old one, guys, but you know, it's still good. Bob Wilson says, hello, I cannot stick around, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm about to leave the post office to go and pick up the Fibrific yarn for the Abbey shawl. Oh my gosh, Claire over at Bob Wilson 123 has designed a shawl, a most amazing, beautiful shawl, named it after my daughter, and is using my yarn in it. So I'm like all kinds of squeed level right now. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. And it uses, there's 2 different versions of her pattern. One is a 2 skein version and one is a 3 skein version. And you can use the beautiful Andromeda DK. It comes up gorgeous. I've seen photos. Go and check out the Bob Wilson's Instagram page. She's popped some photos up there in both the Tiff colorway and the coffee colorway as well. So they look gorgeous. So I can't wait for that video tutorial to be ready. But so she's just got the yarn, so got to give her a chance to do the work. Give her a break, give her a break. Oh my God, I'm so excited. What have we got? We've got 47 watching and 37 thumbs up. So thank you to those of you that are watching, and thank you to those of you that has thumbs up. I'll time myself. Kim's timing herself out for 5 minutes. Okay, Kim, I'm not quite sure why. I think I missed something. Chantel is fangirling. Yeah, rather. A little. Yep. I really am. It's very squishy, says Claire. I need to hit Kim, apparently. I don't know what Kim did. Oh, Kim and Andrea are being naughty. Been working on a blanket for 5 minutes and I've already lost a stitch somewhere. Why do I even bother? Sorry, Andrea. I'm sorry that it's so distracting, me sitting here doing nothing, just talking. So what's going to happen when we start crocheting, guys? It's going to be terrible. There we go. Thank you, Bob Wilson, for popping a link into your Instagram, guys. Right click that link if you want to go and check out those photos, because Claire is a mod here too. So we are moddy buddies. I'm just going to pop this massive cone of yarn on the floor, just so that it's a bit easier. Oops. It was supposed to be easier, honestly. It really was. Andrew says the Abbey shawl sneak peeks look amazing. Can't wait for the release. I actually have yarn set aside for it. There you go. So if you really want, if you're looking at the photos and you decide, oh my god, I definitely want to make this, you can totally order the yarn and get it to you in time for the video to be released, or you can wait and watch how it's done and order some later, or you know, whatever you want to do. Leanne says, I so want an Abbey on my hooks ASAP. I'm not telling my daughter about this. This is so funny. I love how she's being used, you know, in this, or her name is being used in this way. Sally, I'll try and speak again. Sally Schilling has said that she's so excited that she got her yarn from the last dye stream. So pretty, but now I've no idea what to make with it. Well, Sally, you have 2 skeins of Andromeda. You could make an Abbey shawl. A smaller version, albeit, but you could totally make an Abbey shawl. One of those, so as an idea, there's 195, is it 195 or 190? Oh my god, I really need to write things down. I think it's 195 meters per 100 gram skein in the Andromeda. I've totally knit that Molly beanie with the little cable with 1 skein. I made a cowl, just a basic cowl, 1 skein. So you could make yourself a little beanie cowl set if you wanted. I don't know what you like. So there's lots of things you could do, or you could use the 2 together. Bob Wilson says she's got to run. She needs to get her hands on the yummy yarns. Well, you drive safe, Claire. Drive safe. Is Abby going to make one? Do you know what, Kim? Abby doesn't crochet. Abby can knit and Abby can spin, but she has not sat down to learn to crochet yet. I might see if I can talk her into it, you know, over the school holidays, but she's at that age now where yarn craft is not cool, so I've got to wait for her to get past that, and then she'll get back into it later, I'm sure. I'm like, please get back into it later. Oh my god. Welcome to the chat, Sandy Gucci. I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. Kim says, I'm tempted to stab Abby with my hook now, so I can say I have an Abby on my hook too. Look, I can just poke Abby and send a photo and say, look, I've got an Abby on my hook as well. Kim says 195 per 100. Thank you, Kim. I thought it was, but you know, I second guess myself over everything. It's how I work. Sally says she might make either a me shawl or an Abby shawl. They're both from Claire. The me shawl is beautiful. Gouchy. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I appreciate you going to that effort to make it so I could say your name. So yeah, well, I suppose we should look here. So what do we need to make these gorgeous stars? You can use any yarn that you want, any yarn that you have. It doesn't need to be wool, it doesn't need to be cotton, whatever you've got. If you want stitch definition, don't use a fluffy yarn. If you don't care about stitch definition, go and grab yourself some fluffy stuff with the little sparkly bits. Do that. But it's totally a stash buster. I should probably weigh one, but I swear it's less than 3 grams for this, for the standard size star. So it's only a few meters for each one. I'm not going to make a dent on this cone making 100 of them. So you can use whatever yarn that you want, but use a hook that matches your yarn. So I'm using a DK weight yarn and a 4mm hook, or a size G. I've got my clover out. I've just got to scroll this screen. What else have they said here? Oh, you need darning needles and scissors. I've left my chibis in the house, so I don't have them with me. I love the chibis with their little bent tips. It makes it so much easier to weave in your ends, at least for me. And you guys know, I'm not the yarn police. And I actually realized I haven't said that in a while. I'm not the yarn police here, not the knitting police, not the crochet police. However you want to do it, that works for you, do it that way. This is just how I do it. So, and you know, there's like 11 billion ways to do everything, and we all end up with the same thing. I'm not kidding you guys. I make the, like, seriously, the story that happened this week, I wasn't going to share it. I'm totally going to share it now. I dye the lake colorway, and I have a particular recipe that I use with particular colors for mixing the dyes. I went to make the County Kerry colorway, and I'm not kidding, I used totally different colors and it made lake, and I was just like, oh no. A, I didn't want to dye lake. B, I quickly wrote it down, because if I'm missing colors, I can always do this other way. But what I'm saying is two totally different processes, two totally different methods, and I ended up with exactly the same colorway. It was bizarre. And it's the same with knitting and crocheting. Whether you're a picker, a thrower, a combination knitter, a Portuguese knitter, whatever, however you want to do it, as long as your stitches are sitting how you want them to sit, you're done. But I reckon, for me, continental knitting is my winner, and I am a rider. I think it's a rider where you go along the tops of the stitches, but I do kind of pull things up a little bit as well. So there's different ways for crocheting too. Okay, so the stitches that we're going to use, look guys, I'm going to be using the US terminology because that's how I learnt. I learnt from books that were in the US, and it's how I automatically think. So I have to sort of go, oh, Australian is this. So I'm sorry, I am going to be using the US terminology for what we're doing here. If that bugs you, I'm really, really sorry about that. But we're going to go from here. She is totally the trifle police. I am totally the trifle police. I don't deny that. No green jelly belongs in trifle. Or jam rolls. No jam rolls either. And make your custard, people. Oh my god. How hard is it to make custard? Anyway, sorry. We've been having trifle discussions with my family. And yeah, there's things that belong in trifle and things that don't belong in trifle. Yeah, Stacey's got the storm at her place, so it's not going to be far till it hits here. We've got some serious weather on its way, so I'm really sorry if we get glitchy or whatever. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that if that happens. Totes the trifle police. I love Lake as well, Kim Nelson, I really love Lake. Sandy does not like trifle, so that's okay. Trifle has made it to the list. There's a list, you guys, those of you that are new, there's a list of topics that set me off. The list seems to be getting quite long, really. Has anything ever come off the list? I don't know if anything has ever come off the list. Lots of things get added, and I think it's getting really, really long. Proper custard or custard made with custard powder. Andrea, I'm going to confess I do use custard powder. It's like that midway point. I have made proper custard with the egg yolks, but I do add extra ingredients to my custard powder, so I make a double egg custard with a custard powder base. Rebecca Nelson has never had trifle. Oh my god, Rebecca Nelson. Find someone who makes it proper and try some. If you like custard and cake and fruit and jelly, there's a good chance you're going to like trifle. Uh-oh, people are starting to write things that go on the list. Fairy says, I need to do a be right back to help make the bed, as I was the one who spilled coffee all over it this morning. Oh my gosh, Fairy, good luck with the bed making, and good luck with getting that coffee stain off. Yeah, we were hoping that that one was going to come off. Have they nixed it yet? They haven't yet, not yet. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be working along using the instructions from this Craftsy blog page. I can't show it to you because that's too many things and the computer will crash and burn, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to read it out as I'm going. You guys can totally be on the page, How to Crochet a Star on craftsy.com. Kim popped a link in before. If someone else could toss a link back in, that would be great. And I'm just scrolling down. We're going to be using chains, single crochets, half double crochets, double crochets, half treble crochets, slip stitches, and we're going to be starting with a magic ring. Now, as we've discussed a couple of weeks ago, there's various ways to do a magic ring. So I've just been sidetracked. What do you use if you don't use jam rolls? You use sponge cake. You just chop up sponge cake and it's beautiful. Kim says, I like tiramisu. It's sort of like trifle. You know, it's not, but okay. I'm trying not to look at the trifle comments anymore, guys. I'm trying to focus. I'm focusing. Oh, Kim says, here's one I prepared earlier. She's got the links handy. Go, Kim. Alright, so we're going to start with the magic loop. Now, I just do a single. Some people do a double. I prefer just a single. But then, when I'm weaving in my ends, I make sure I weave it in around a second time. I just find it easier to work into the single rather than into the double. But I do make sure that I've woven in because, as it's been pointed out, If you don't weave that end in properly, the middle of your circle could come undone and undo your entire project. Now, it's not a biggie if you're just doing a little star, but it's huge if it's the middle of a blanket, okay? So, okay, I just realized I said that. Totally sorry. Where are we? Tiramisu is delicious. Don't get me wrong. I love tiramisu. It's just not trifle. Andrew says it's so dark here I can't actually see my stitches. Yeah, well, I've actually put a curtain up to get rid of some of the glaring light. Like, we've got some serious glare going on today. But yeah, I can see at the top, I've left the top open, and there's some serious cloud action on its way. Tiramisu is in the same camp as real custard. Okay. Alright. Okay, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be starting with a magic loop. We're going to focus, guys. Focusing on making a star. I want a star made by the end of this chat. Like, if I was sitting on the couch, I'd have 15 made by now, I swear. But I don't have any. So, yeah, I'm going to start now. So I'm going to start with a magic loop. So I literally wrap, I pinch it. Can you guys, I might just lift my hands up. I pinch it. I wrap it around 3 fingers. Now, if you want to do 2, wrap it around again. I personally prefer 1. Then you poke your hook through and I put my finger on it so there's no movement. Then I yarn over the hook and bring that through and do my first chain. And that locks it into place. Now we make sure we're crocheting over 2 strands at all times, even if we need to pull it around a little to keep working over 2 strands, okay? Because if you're only working on 1, you can't pull in the magic loop. So you need to be making sure you're working on this 2-strand section, not on this single strand section. And if you're doing the double loop, you need to make sure you're working on 3 strands. So we'll see how it's going. Kim's picking on me because 40 minutes in and we still haven't started. We're starting now, Kim. We're starting now. Okay, so what we've got to do is we're chaining... what are we doing? Oops, I scrolled too far. So chain 2. So we've chained 1 already. Chain a second time. Then these do not count as a stitch, guys. So remember that when you're doing your counts, they don't count as a stitch. So we're going to work 3 half double crochets into the ring. So over those 2 loops, 3 half double crochets or half trebles if you're Australian. 2 and 3. This is not a beginner crochet class, guys, so if you guys need to learn how to do the stitches, you might have to watch some tutorials while you're following the written pattern. Then we add a chain, and then we do that 4 more times. So we do the 3 half doubles and the chain 4 more times. So 1, and then we've got 4 more, so we end up with 5 in total. So 1, 2, and 3, and then a chain, and then 1, 2, and 3, and a chain. So that's 1, 2, 3. So we do 2 more. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, I've got to pull my yarn up. And a chain. Bing. And 1, 2, and 3. And a chain. So we should end up with a small pentagon. So there should be 5 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5. So then what we need to do is we do need to pull in our magic loop a little, but I don't pull it all the way in at the start, okay? So I don't make it as tight as I possibly can here. I just bring it in so that enough. See how there's still a little circle there? But I'm close enough to be able to work into my stitch. Now when I'm finished and weaving in the ends, that's when I tug that thing tight and stitch it in and make sure it's not going anywhere. But right now I like to have it sort of a bit looser. So if something happens and I need to pull back, I haven't put extra strain or tension on my yarn. That's the only reason. You can totally pull it tight if you want. Alright, then we need to, it says you'll have a small pentagon with a 5 chain space at each point. Oh, it says do not tighten it too tightly at this point and do not weave in the end. Okay, so we need to make our slip stitch into our next stitch. So I'm just going to slip stitch, so bring it under the 2 markers. It's a bit fluffy here. There we go. Alright, so I've joined there. Okay, make a slip stitch and then chain into the, oh, hang on, make a slip stitch into the next stitch and then into the chain space that forms the next point. I was always confused by that, and I literally slip across. Oh, hang on a second, you guys. So I slip stitched into the next stitch. Yeah, no, I've been slipping all the way across, so you can see it in my things here. I've been slipping all the way across to the next chain space. Now, I don't know if that's what they actually mean for us to do, but that's what I've been doing for the others, so that's what I'm going to do here. It's some of the terminology in how this has been written, not the greatest, or at least not for me. Everyone's patterns are different. So I've slipped from where I was over to the next chain space. So into here, you can see my little finger can poke through a little. So I'm in the chain space. Now what we need to do is chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't want these chains too tight because we've got to work into them. So we're going to do a single crochet into the second one. So not that first one. Into the second one, we single crochet. Then into the third one, we half double crochet. And then into the fourth one, we double crochet. And then into the fifth one, we half treble. That's... Do you know what? I think I've just been doing a straight up treble onto my fifth one. Yeah, I like it a bit better with just a straight treble. I know that they want you to do a half treble, but I find it sat better with a full treble. All these have been done with a full treble across here. So I'm going to keep going with how I do it. You guys can follow the actual instructions and do it like real proper people, but I'm going to be doing it like this. So I'm doing a full treble instead of the half treble, but then all the other instructions I'm doing the same, okay? Then I slip stitch into the next chain point, and so one little star leg has been born. Now we do this all the way around, okay? So I go again with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then from the second we single crochet, and then into the third we half double, and into the fourth we double crochet, and then into the fifth we treble crochet. Well, I treble crochet. You guys can do whatever you want because I'm a rebel and I just think it sits better, just sits flatter. I'm just going to have a quick pause to have a look here. Someone's mum makes a pecan and meringue pie. Holy cow, that sounds amazing. Rebecca Nelson, I'll pop some links up of my favorite trifle recipe in the Fiberific Fun Zone after. It's like a baby granny pentagon. It's exactly like a baby granny pentagon. That's right. Meringue is hard, humidity kills it, so that's pretty much rules out making it in Brisbane for half the year. Yes, it does. Or air condition your house first and then make it. That's how I get around it. You need to do it the day you want to eat it. Absolutely. You do, totally. Kim says she's not reading the chat. We can be naughty. Wrong. Totally wrong. I'm taking a break and reading the chat. You can make meringue with the liquid from canned chickpeas, but wouldn't it taste wrong? Gamer Widows? No, who's that? Kim. Yuck. Ugh. Andrea, where we go? Yes, I'm totally suspicious of that too. Lots of meringue talk. You guys making me hungry. I made sure I had a good breakfast so I wasn't hungry, and now we're talking all my favourite foods like trifle and meringue and tiramisu, and this is just terrible for me. It's terrible. Oh, there you go. Jackie's popped a link into the weather radar because the storm is scaring me. Fairy says the stains are gone and the bed is made. Hair stain remover. Oh wow, that's good to know. Okay, so I've just pulled out my MLC Hank and loving the variant of the colour. Is this semi-solid? Yes, it is. Yes. I about died. Wouldn't it taste wrong? What, wouldn't it though? It would taste wrong. Kim's telling me she's got brownies. That's evil, Kim. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Okay, I'm going to keep going because we need 5 of these little points to finish this dude off. So we've got to make 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We single crochet into the second, and we double crochet, half double crochet into the third. My dog's losing her mind. I don't know why. I feel like a peeping Tom now because I can peer out the window with the curtain. And by curtain, I mean Tinkerbell blanket, FYI. Then after we've done the half double, we do a double. And then, now this particular yarn that I'm using, I'm going in with a triple crochet here. This yarn is an undyed yarn, so it actually has not been bulked as yet. So when I wash this, the stitches are going to puff out more because undyed yarn comes flatter and not as bulky, and then it bulks up. Marion is off. Bye, Marion. Or is that hi? I don't know what that is. Alison says, my who gives a crap Christmas toilet paper just arrived. I just ordered some more toilet paper. I did not opt for the Christmas paper though. I just went plain boring bog roll. Tuesday night the Scouts are making brownies to take to camp. I'm taking guesses as to how many won't make it. None. Welcome to the chat, Christy. How are you going? And welcome back, Rowan's Impressions. Is it wrong for me to be crocheting on my amigurumi while learning this star pattern? As long as you don't get confused, I can't see how it'd be wrong. I do it all the time. But then I do things like change things just because I want it another way. Kim's daughter is saying that she's got Kim Nelson her daughter has the MLC hank opener around her neck saying, Mum, can't I just wear it like this? It feels beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you like it. A pumpkin crunch dessert. Oh my gosh. Cinder's, I can't read your surname there. Welcome to the chat. Here is it. Oh, there's a link to the chickpea meringue. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Not the link, that there's a chickpea meringue that exists. What is this Christmas toilet paper? There's a website called Who Gives a Crap, and they sell products that are fully recycled and recyclable, so their cores, everything, all their packaging, totally recyclable, and it gets delivered to your door, and it's actually it's comparable to supermarket prices, at least here in Australia. And they've made Christmas products. I didn't buy any because I'm boring and Grinchish, and I don't like paying extra for Christmas print. So you know, but I see the fun. I see the benefit. I just needed extra toilet paper because I've got the hordes of the hordes of the Anderson families coming to descend upon us for Christmas. I have 35, I think it is. We've worked out 35 coming for Christmas lunch. So we'll need some extra toilet paper, or as we delicately call it in this household, bog roll. There we go. That's where that one goes. Where are we? I used the wrappers from that last year from my present wrapping. I was actually looking at the wrappers this year thinking, ooh, that looks nice. Yeah, I don't even think it's just Australian, you guys. I think it's outside of Australia. Bye, Game Widows. Have a good day. I've also used their paper towel and their tissues. They're both okay. I prefer other brands for those things. But the bog roll's fine. So 5, and single crochet into the second, and then half double into the third, and then double into the fourth, and then treble into the fifth. Beep, 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 beep. In you go. I've got to pull my yarn up again. It's getting tight. And then slip stitch to join it into the doobie. What's it? There we go. We've got our little 5. See, and how you, when you finish this one off, as is, this will be done. Weave in the ends, and you've got his little curling around little starfish legs. Bit more starfishy than star, which is totes okay. But if you want to finish here, you can. You totally can. You cut it off, you weave in your ends, you pull that middle tight, weave it around more, and off you go. I need to go over here to scroll to go to the next instructions. Okay, now I'm up to the optional step 5. So the optional step 5, get some more yarn, is just to literally slip stitch into every stitch around. That's it. That's your optional stitch. So I just slip stitch. So I'm in there, so I slip stitch. And I tend to give a bit of a count. So, oops, I missed one. There you go. That's why I count. So I want to make sure I get them all. So I count them to make sure I've got all 5, because you do a little bit of a picot thing at the top. So I'm just slip stitching along, and then when you get to that 5th one, I'm just going to read the instructions. I think it's slip stitch, chain, slip stitch. Oops, my mouse is not playing. I'll just scroll up. There we go. And then you get to that top one, which I always find just rolls forward a little, so I sort of scoop him in and pull him back. So slip stitch, then chain, and then slip stitch back in, and then on to the next 5. So then 1, 2, make sure you don't split your yarn, Chantel. 2, 3. What did I do wrong there? I've done something wrong and it's not pointy. And see, that's how fussy I am. I'll go back and I'll be like, why is that not right? So I've done my 5. So slip stitch, chain. Okay, so I just slip stitch into the first one. I don't do the slip stitch, chain, slip stitch. I slip stitch, chain, and then go into the slip stitch into the next one. So it's not a full proper picot, it's a partial picot. In my brain, it could be a real proper picot, and I just don't consider it as such. But yeah, all the instructions are written here. They've got a really good picture tutorial written on the Craftsy page. I am technically affiliated with Craftsy, I probably should say that. And by affiliated with Craftsy, I mean that I have affiliate links that I post every now and again, where if you do sign up to Blueprint or something like that, from those links, and I get a small commission. But there's nothing for this. This is just, I found this blog to make these stars because they're cute, and it happens to be on Craftsy. So I hope I don't get in trouble from Craftsy for doing it on camera, because I probably should have checked, but I did not, because it's a public post, and I have given you all the links, and I'm not taking credit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might be in big trouble. If the channel gets shut down, we know why. Let me have a look here. I'm starting to use my old plastic grocery bags to make sleeping mats for the homeless. Good job, Bessie. Alison says it's recycled quality, but I haven't yet tried the Christmas one, which is made out of bamboo and feels better. Oh, I didn't look into it that much. Where a creative grandma has a tutorial for a Santa toilet paper cover. It looks cute. I've never made anything for the bathroom other than face washers. That's it. Bessie says, I do the same thing. If it doesn't look right, I frog it back. Oh, she frogs it all the way back. It's starting to look dark where you are. It is. It's very dark. It's really a little bit nerve-wracking, actually. I'm trying to be brave. Totally not brave, ever. Says the lady who runs and screams from spiders and anything else that flies at my face. I can't handle bugs that jump. Like, I like looking at them through the screen door or from the window or something like that. But I cannot be near, like, grasshoppers or anything that can, like, jump, because I have to wear glasses for distance, right? Because, like, my eyes aren't fully functioning. I can see this all fine. This is fine. But get further away and I can't see. So when things jump at me and I don't have my glasses on, which is majority of the time when I'm at home, my eyes just struggle to track it. So, yeah, stresses me out. Stresses me out, guys. Things that jump in my face. But when I got my glasses on, I track moving things much easier, which is why I wear my glasses while I'm driving, because, you know, watching other cars move, important. Yeah, highly recommend being able to see when you drive a vehicle. Yeah, for sure. This world's smallest picot. Yeah, it's more just to make the tip pointy is really all it's doing. Crochet clock is running. Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday for those in the US. That's right. And happy Thanksgiving, Stephanie. I hope you have a wonderful day. Where are we? Sing the song, grab your umbrella. It always makes me feel better. Yeah. Alison says that her car is now covered in a layer of dust. I hope you're inside and safe, Alison. That dust storm sounds horrid. I saw some footage of it coming across from the west on television this morning, and it doesn't look good. Leanne says it's crazy in Pimpama. She's going to take a bit of footage. We had heaps of warning though. Yeah, it's a bit crazy here. Well, it's becoming crazy here. So it's kind of weird because you've got Leanne at Pimpama, and then you've got who is it? Stacey's a bit further north, and then I'm a bit further north from that. And yeah, so like when they talk about how it's getting bad at their place, I'm getting nervous. Excuse me, sorry. Did I not chain? I did not chain. I just went straight in. Let's have a look here. Nope, I did chain, but I don't think I did it from the right spot. So there, and then chain, and then around the corner to the next slip stitch. We've nearly made a star, guys. We've nearly made a star. The stream's only been running for an hour on a 5-minute star, but we've nearly made a star. We're nearly there. Around and around and around we go. You can see which... Oh, hello. My power went weird then. If my power drops out, the live stream will end. Or it may not end straight away because I have battery power in the laptop, but it won't last long with everything hooked up and running off it. So my apologies in advance if we go dark, and that's purely because the power will have gone out with this really nasty looking storm. So yeah, but anyway, you can see where we've done the thing and where we haven't. So it's coming along, but make sure you've got your link to the pattern so that even if I disappear, you guys can still go off and make beautiful, beautiful things. Yeah, my hands are getting darker and darker, aren't they? I hope you guys can still see. I did allow for some sunlight to make a difference, but it doesn't appear to be doing it. The air conditioner is not coping now. The rain has started outside. There we go. And then we go there, chain one, and then around the corner. I'm a little nervous, guys. Oops, I hooked up some wrong yarn there. I snagged some stitch bits from the previous stitch, tried to drag that through. That's not going to work. Chain, and then single crochet. No, what am I saying? We're slip stitching. We're not single crocheting. We're slip stitching. I knew what I was doing. I just said the wrong thing. And then we slip stitch back to the start. We're at the start, guys. And we've gone all the way around. Leave yourself... I've been cutting a really long tail because once I've let's not use English. Once I've woven in the ends, I use these tails to create my little ties at the top here. So I use the actual cut off tails to make that tie. So I'm just going to go like this, pull that through, snug that up. Then we need to snug this guy. So you want to pull it, but pull it carefully because you don't actually want it to snap. Now you can see here that this comes from this direction. So when I get my needles that I've left inside and weave that in, I'll make sure I weave it in all the way around one more time and then start the backwards and forwards thing. Wow, this looks really bad out there. And go from there, and that's the back side, and then this is the front side, and we have made our star. So how did you just like that? Was that a bit of fun? We have not really done this in a live stream before where I've taught you how to make something. So probably not the best way to do it. Bit quick. It's getting a bit dark and scary out. I'm gonna have a read of the chat and sip some coffee. Kim's really mega north. Yes, she is. She's about as north as you can get. Where are we? Oh no, Kim Nelson's popped me onto her TV, a 65-inch TV. It looks like she's at the cinema. No. I forget that you guys can do that. I really do. But the funny thing is, that's how I watch a lot of YouTube, as I put it up on the TV. So once your stars are done, depending on what you've made them out of, I'm totally planning on dipping them straight into dye and pulling them out, and then heat setting them in a steamer so that I can have some gradient stars in a bit of pale blue. I'm thinking blue, I'm going to use a little bit of grey, so to make a slightly silverish tone, and then leave some cream. I'm not going to make stars in like reds or anything like that, but you totally can. But you guys know that I've got rules about Christmas. Abbey does not agree with those rules, so she's already called dibs on some of these and wants them dyed purple and teal and the wrong colours for Christmas. So yeah, so that's all good. It's raining cats and dogs at Sally's place. Someone's putting song lyrics in. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Yeah, Kim says she's going to want professional makeup and stuff if you tell her that. I am. I'm totally going to need costume and makeup and all the other stuff. I've kicked that so that it's not lined up now. I don't like that. I'm going to want all the things. You can hear my rain. It's pretty intense out there, you guys. I might have to pull my internet in off the ledge in a minute, because it's going to get rained on and that will just trash it. Daigo's got to get coffee pot, so good. Oh, coffee got cold. Oh no! Oh, you can't microwave coffee, Daigo. Nope. Out. I'm out. Can't do it. I've tried it. I don't like it. It makes the coffee taste weird. You're not going to get your... Wait a second. You're not going to like the tea advent calendar then? Have you wrapped it in weird wrapping papers? I don't mind. Hang on. I'm just going to bring this in and shut this window. It's getting wet. Hopefully we don't lose too much signal. But we might, because it's no longer out in its best spot anymore, but it was getting rained on, so I've had to pull it in. Oh, it's a bit scary out there, guys. Where are we? Anybody else buffering? I'm not, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh, where are we? Bessie's having a blast. Wow. The wind is fierce out there. Whoa. Kim Nelson says, I have Christmas rules. No discussion of Christmas until after your birthday. If your birthday is around Christmas, I am so sorry, because it is the worst when everyone's focusing on Christmas and you're like, well, my birthday is before then. So my brother's birthday is just after Christmas, and he hates how, oh my God. He hates how he gets his birthday presents wrapped in leftover Christmas paper. So, oh, it's really bad. You should see the tree. Oh, it's a bit terrifying. Sorry, guys. No buffering for Fairy. All good at Andrew's end. That's good. How, like, this is weird. We've got this crazy storm and the internet's still working. Yeah. A high definition pore minimizing powder. Are you saying my pores are large? I'm just asking out of curiosity now. Bessie's in Central Arkansas. Kathleen can totally hear my storm. It is, it's pretty bad. In a little shed. How much rain are you supposed to get? I've got no idea, Gray. No idea. It feels like a lot. It feels like I'm supposed to get a lot. It's like you're waiting for the roof to fall in. Well, I've never been in here while it's raining before. I normally go, yep, I'm out, and go into the house. That is rude. Just use white plain copy paper before I did that to someone. I agree with you, totally. I totally agree. Wow, that rain's heavy. You loving the sound of the rain? I love it too if I was not reliant on electricity that keeps flickering, because I can hear water running somewhere that it shouldn't be. Sorry guys. Yes. Have you got a boat? I do not have a boat. No, I don't. Oh, wow. Oh, man. It's pretty good out there. It's pretty dang good. I'm just double checking my router's not getting wet. Is your other window open? No, it's not. No, everything was closed, so it's all good. No rain should come inside. We're pretty good here. It's just pretty heavy is all. And I'm just thinking maybe my house windows were open. I don't know if they're closed in the house, you guys. This could be really bad. Oh. My mum's turning 77 this year, and I was born in 77, so special year for us. Absolutely, Bessie. That sounds awesome. Sorry, I can't quite understand what you meant there, Kathleen. We'd go with her. I'm not quite sure. I think I might have missed something. Black Pearl Knits, I'm in Hendra in a warehouse, so I can't see the weather, but I just started hearing the wind and all. Yeah, I did not realise that you were in Australia, Black Pearl Knits. I should really look into that more, shouldn't I? Hendra's not that far from me. It sounds quite creepy. It would be creepy, especially on a warehouse. It really would be. Marilyn Perlman says, we've just lived through all that in NC with our stores. I know the feeling. Christy says, go check, we can wait. No, it's look, honestly, if they're open, the damage is done. So metal shed, go in if you have lightning. Oh, absolutely. If there's lightning, I will be shutting down and moving, guys. I'm sorry. I am literally in a metal box, so I don't want to risk that. Kim, I have a boat with a coffee machine. Did your boat have a coffee machine? Andrea says, I just got a message from the kids at school. They're terrified. There's trees flying around. Oh, wow. That's insane. That's crazy. Gosh. When I made, I'm just going to quickly just run through this doubles. I literally did exactly what I did for this one, but with 2 strands held together through the whole process. So double wrapped it, did the whole, everything. And that's how I got this size star. Was literally 2 strands held together. So that's 1 strand, and that's 2 strands. And I used the 2 strands through the entire process. I'll have to double check, but I think I used a 5.5mm hook. I don't know what that is in the letters. Someone will have to put that in for me. Someone says, if the wind blows your shed away and your signal was on, what then? Oh, I said you're in the land of Oz and we'd be with you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kathleen, for explaining that. That's awesome. Yeah, we'd be totally in the land of Oz, totally. Although there'd have to be some serious wind to move this shed away. Apparently it's like 1.5 tons. Not okay inside a metal box. As long as you are not touching it, it would directly charge around you. Yeah, so I've got my feet on the lino, but I can always put my feet on the wheels of my plastic chair. Daigo says, I'm back. Chantel, please be careful. And oh no, Andrea. Yeah, I think it's good. Like, does anyone have a map handy that they can tell me? I can't look one up. I'm not going to jump on the internet and look at anything. But if you can let me know if the storm's moving past Beanley anytime soon, that would be good to know. Sending prayers of safety. I think I'll be fine. I think I'll just get wet. You'd be off to see the wizard. I'd get some serious colorway inspiration while I was there, that's for certain. So guys, what do you think of this different microphone setup? Is the sound okay? And everything's good, other than the whole mono rather than stereo thing. So, and I can muck around with the other one to see if we can get the stereo back as well. Kim Nelson says, can you take us to the window, please? I probably can. Hang on a second. I'm going to use this camera and swivel you around to look out the window. You ready? It's going to be some movement for a second, so be prepared. I'm going to swivel around and then peek out the window. Can you, I don't know if you can see the rain. Can you see that? From here you can't see the big tree I'm watching that's blowing around. Hang on, I'll see if I can, because we've got a curtain up. Tilt up, little thing. Oh, too far away. Hang on, I've got to stand up. Oh, it's going straight in the sunlight, you can't see it. Alright, I'm going to bring it back now. I'll have to muck around a little. There we go. We've got stars back. Oh, my little curtain is blocking the window. So yeah, 5mm would be letter I or number 9. Thank you, Ferry. I appreciate that. So I'm thinking the kids' schools will be enforcing the wet weather policies for wet breaks. Absolutely. Oh, you guys could see the branch with the rain's just gone up now. It's coming down hard. Oh, I did. I've really moved that now. Hang on a second. Whoop, 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 whoop. So you're crystal clear here. Oh, that's awesome that the internet's working well. So that's good. That's a nice change for us, isn't it, guys? That the internet's actually working. So that's cool. It's a little darker here than I would like because I was allowing for a little bit of sunlight, and I graded the colouring accordingly, but yeah, it's not happening, so I could probably bring some more light over if we need it. So did you guys enjoy making our stars today, and having a look at like what you can learn from like just a written blog post? Even there's no video in the blog post, it's just a blog post and photos. Kim says that all the heavy stuff seems to be overhead of me right now, so it should ease off in the next 10 minutes or so. Oh, that's cool. Excuse me. Hey, Stacy. The storm's passed, but still lots of rain. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I've missed lots in the chat, you guys. There's so much going on in the chat today. Where are we? Rain dripping on the window. Yeah, there's a bit of that going on. It doesn't seem to be like before, when I was like looking up getting really worried that the sky is really getting quite black, but now it's starting to get more grey rather than black, so that's cool. The answers of rain and wind are coming from all the directions, though slowing a bit maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think next week I'll definitely make sure I've got all the windows in the house locked up before I call. Andrew says there's no rain here, but the thunder is awesome. Oh, I don't want any thunder. Because the thunder means lightning, and I don't want to hang out in the metal box in the lightning. Where are we in the chat? So yeah, so we've got this. I feel like I should be doing something with my hands, but I don't want to start another star just yet. Just because I'm a bit sore. Did anyone else get the $1 pack at Tim Tams? No, I did not get $1 pack at Tim Tams. I didn't even know that there was a $1 packet of Tim Tams. So yeah, Tim Tams, $1. That's cool. Was it all flavours or was it just the originals? But even then I still would have bought some because I like the originals. Kim says no, ours were $2.50. Yeah, I bought some at $2.50, but not at $1. Not at $1. And Bessie says I didn't see a $1 sale. Maybe it's just your particular store. There we go. Kill that. There we go. I just closed down the Craftsy class. I did not close down anything else. So, Kathleen says I used to take my 1-year-old out on the balcony to stare at thunder and lightning storms. Loved it. Oh look, I did too until I would have been about 10 or 11, and we were living across the road, this massive park, and we were all standing on our little front porch area, and a big massive lightning hit across the road. Because there was so much water, the lightning strike traveled and we all tingled, and so that freaks me out a little bit now, just because it's a bit too much. So yeah, so you know, it's just a bit, it stresses me out a little. Kathleen Champ says, oh great, we don't even have Tim Tams. Oh man, we will not discuss Tim Tams too long. We won't, we promise, we promise. So what have you guys, any of you going to be planning on working on any Christmas projects or anything like that to get going for your like, what are you giving gifts or making decorations or something Christmassy? Stephanie probably bought all of them. Yeah, she could get them for $1, she would. Steph already has a stash, so that's cool. Christina has buffering. I don't have buffering. I'm really surprised that I don't have buffering. I'm watching, I've got my phone just down here with that I can just keep an eye on. It's on a separate network, so I can watch that. Where are we? The lightning's so close that we actually have heard it sizzle before the crack. Oh, that's amazing to watch, but terrifying to be near. I tried the Turkish Delight that we talked about, and they're okay. And I fridged them overnight first. I was very, very, I was like, right, I'm going to give these the best opportunity to taste how they're supposed to taste. And they're okay, but they weren't as great as I was hoping. I mean, they taste more like handmade Turkish Delight, like that really nice strong rose water, but I think they went a bit heavy with the rose water. Angie has her gifts done already. Good job, Angie. You're well up on me. Rowan says, I want to make a table runner for the holidays. Actually, that's a really great idea, isn't it? That would look really cool. I've got like this massive, like, because I've got 35 coming for Christmas. I'm just going to, we have like a really open plan house, so we're just going to run tables, like I've got my arms out here, like we're going to run tables like all the way down the middle of the house. So putting one big table runner across everything would be cool, or probably more useful, make lots of matching table runners for all 6 of the tables. Kathleen says, Steph has shared and enlightened us on Tim Tams. We've seen her enjoy them. Yeah. I sent her those caramel ones that she was eating in the car for that video. Kim says, I thought the jelly part was quite chewy. Yeah, the texture was wrong. It was totally wrong. Turkish Delight, not so delightful. I love Turkish Delight, but I'm a bit fussy, like with everything, as you guys are working out. There's rules. There's rules for things. Daigo's birthday is the 22nd of the 12th, and share it with an older sister. Oh, I remember you saying that. Oh my gosh. Bessie says, I'm making a baby cow for my soon-to-be granddaughter's birth. That's awesome. Kim says, I've no idea what you're talking about, but I already don't think jelly should be chewy. Yeah, jelly shouldn't be chewy. Agreed. Andrea has a pattern for a star table runner. It's pretty much a join-as-you-go pattern. I love join-as-you-go patterns. I really do. Marilyn says, do you do all the cooking for the 36 people? Look, technically no. Everyone brings something. But depending on how far they're having to travel, they bring a little less and chip in some cash dollar bucks. And then so we'll have, and the other thing is it's stinking hot summer, so we don't do the big, big hot roast. We do a lot of the cooking the day before, so everyone knows what they're bringing and we all talk about it. And someone will bring dessert, and someone will bring some cold drinks, and someone will bring, some salad and things like that. But there's always things that I need to make, and even the things that I make when we travel out. So trifle, potato salad, all the little nibblies, like we make chocolate yum yum balls. They're like rum balls, but without rum and with a bit more chocolate. Because a lot of us in our family are allergic to rum, so we avoid those. It means the kids can have them too. But then when it's Christmas lunch here, we've got to do all the prepping for the food here. So some people will bring their ingredients and cook it here. So out of the 36, I think we've got, including myself, my husband and my daughter, I think we have about 18 staying for a couple of nights around Christmas. So we have like tents set up in the yard. My mum and her partner are actually going to move into the shack. We're going to set up some camp stretchers so that they've got somewhere to sleep while they're here that's a bit comfy and a little bit private. So they're going to be out here. And so yeah, so it's definitely too hot to cook, but and everyone chips in and helps. It's not all on me. It's just on me to make room for everybody. And then I supply, you know, like the food eating bits, the cutlery and utensils and the serving platters, but we've got all that because we do this all the time. So there's a lot of it just sort of sitting there in Christmas colours waiting to be stacked with Christmas food. Oh, that's the other thing I make. Tandoori chicken drumsticks is my thing. I learned how to make it from a friend of my mum's back when I was a teenager. And you get chicken drumsticks and you score them with a knife, with a sharp knife, all the way to the bone. So it's like big scored chunks. And then in like a 1 kilo tub of Greek yogurt, you mix in a jar of the best quality tandoori sauce that you can afford to buy, and mix it all up. And then you push all of the chicken drumsticks into the yogurt until they're totally covered, and then seal it and pop it in the fridge for overnight. And then the next day, you pop them in the oven on oven trays with alfoil because it's a nightmare to wash up. And then you cook them all off until they're all like got little charred edges. They look amazing and they taste amazing. And then I actually just let them cool and stack them on plates and put them in the fridge and serve them cold. So yeah, I make that, the potato salad, the trifle, and sometimes if I see like a recipe that looks really cool, I'll toss in something extra. But generally speaking, the rest of the meats comes from other members of the family, and then there's green salad and potato salad, and then there's just separate salad veggies for those kids that don't like salad. Would you be able to share your chocolate yum yum ball recipe? They sound delicious. Absolutely. It is very simple, but I'll pop it over onto the Fibrific Fun Zone. So I think you remember over there Black Pearl Knits. But yeah, it's basically a packet of, you can use chocolate ripple biscuits if you want. I personally like to use ginger nuts because I like that little bit of spice. And you crush them up. I pop into a food processor and give them a bit of a blitz. Mix in a tin of condensed milk, a tablespoon and a half of cocoa, and a little bit of coconut, like just a desiccated coconut. That's a family joke. We all call it devastated. Desiccated coconut, and then with wet hands, just roll it into balls and roll it into the coconut. But yeah, it's just really yummy. And if you use the ginger nut biscuits, you get this little sort of pop of zing, as well as the chocolatey. But I love chocolate and ginger, so if you don't, use chocolate ripples. Yeah, if someone's looking for Freaky Geek, he's got darts now. It's dart season. Sorry, barbecue like we used to do in San Antonio. It's too hot to cook. Yeah, we like we tend to have the barbecue breakfast on Boxing Day. So we drag out the barbecue and cook up lots of eggs and bacon and sausage and stuff like that. Oh, your trifle, what's it consist of? I think we call it parfait. So it is a layer of just vanilla sponge or butter sponge, drizzled with a booze beverage of your choice. I tend to go a bit of brandy, but you can go sherry if you like. And then I put in sliced peaches, like tin sliced peaches, and red jelly and port wine jelly, so raspberry and port wine jelly. Then pour the custard that's just cool enough to not melt your jelly, but also not set yet. And then you pour that in, and then you layer upon layer, and you do that like custard jelly fruit until you've finished. And then you put whipped cream on the top with strawberries and stuff. That's how I do it anyway. Black Pearl Knit says, I lost my Facebook password ages ago and haven't been bothered to reset it, but we'll do it finally. But we'll have to finally do it to get back to the Fibrific Fun Zone. Absolutely. Jump into the Fun Zone. It's fun in there. Or we try to make it fun anyway. Where are we? Leanne says, I'll do the same with lamb, but chicken would be yummo. Tandoori. Yeah, absolutely. And it's easy and the kids eat it. Like I'll do up 30 or 40 drumsticks and they're gone. Like they're absolutely good. One year I made up mango chicken drumsticks, tandoori chicken drumsticks, and just plain barbecue drumsticks. I did about 30 of each. And they're all in the fridge at Christmas Eve. I wake up Christmas morning to find that my dad and my brothers had gotten hungry throughout the night and had demolished the chicken, and so they had to go hunting for somewhere that sold barbecue chickens on Christmas Day, and I'm not kidding, they found somewhere. They totally did. It was bizarre, and my dad felt so bad because he didn't realize that they'd eaten so many, because they were just going in and sneaking one at a time, but they must have done it a lot of times. But then I find out later that it wasn't just them, it was lots of people, but because I was tired, I'd gone to bed early because I'd been cooking all day, and everyone was still up and hungry, and I didn't like the sight of the food because I'd been cooking it, but they liked the sight of it, so that was good. Yes, I do it with and without the booze. Yeah, I do like one with the fruit juice as well for the kids. So they can have trifle too, but I don't give the kids the boozy trifle. Reminds the show friends Rachel had to do a trifle and had no idea what it was, and had like mashed potatoes, corn. Oh, that's how. No, Angie. Oh my gosh, just even thinking about that makes me sick. No. Bessie's cooking, and it goes like this: turkey, mashed potato, and gravy corn on the cob, and 2 pies, and maybe some deviled eggs. My mum loves deviled eggs so much. If I've got spare eggs up, because we've got chickens, so the first thing that happens is we put aside the eggs for the potato salad, because there's egg in the potato salad, and then after that we put aside the eggs for the trifle. If there's still any eggs left, or if I'm feeling particularly generous and go and buy some because it feels wrong buying eggs, then we'll make up a big thing of deviled eggs, and they always go. Everyone was like, oh no, it's not really for me, but the end, they're gone. They're all gone. Yeah, they're totally naughty boys. They were totally naughty. And they'd stayed up really late. And it's because what it is we don't all get together very often. And so when we do get together, we normally like really, it's chaos. It's total chaos. It's loud and it's raucous and there's laughing, and everyone in my family plays guitar and sings, and so someone's grabbed a guitar and everyone's singing, or you know, there's something going on. So there's noise everywhere. So sometimes you just need that. I needed to step back because I was feeling a little overwhelmed, and I went to bed early, and they were up partying basically. Oh, my tabletop's messing with Kim's OCD because the lines aren't square with the screen. Oh, Kim, it's because I moved the thing. Hang on. Let's make the lines square with the screen for you. Yeah, oh, hang on. I gotta try and fix that. It's just a bit hard. Let me see if I can. Is that better, Kim? Is that better? Now let's just put something the wrong way just to upset you. Is that better? Let me know. That's all family. It is. That's exactly right. We just go, it's family hard at Christmas. And even if we've got issues like, you know, if me and my brothers aren't talking or whatever, for whatever reason, Christmas doesn't matter. None of it comes up. We don't discuss it. Just family. We family hard and Christmas hard here. So yeah. Andrea, deviled eggs, is that the hard-boiled eggs with the yolks that have curry and mayonnaise mixed in? Yeah, totally. Well, at least that's how I do it anyway. Yeah, I actually prefer a little bit of mustard powder rather than curry powder, but, you know, whatever. It's that general stuff. Goodness me. It's 11:30, you guys. I'm going to head off. I've had such a great time chatting today. It's been so much fun, and I really enjoyed doing a particular thing that I could show you, and being able, you know, for you to be able to see what I'm doing and keep me company through the storm. So thank you for that as well. It is so much fun. Now, sorry, my brain was just ticking over because there's something I needed to remember to tell you. We're going to be having a Christmas shutdown over time. I'll be putting some dates up in the Fiberific Fun Zone. We now have a community tab here on YouTube, so I can put some stuff in here as well. So if you guys don't follow over on Facebook, or you don't play on Instagram or any of the other social medias that I'm on, or if you're not on my mailing list either, then I will make sure that it's here as well, so that we can all see what's going on. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. Get crafting, knock out some stars. I'd love if you would actually hashtag me at Fiberific, so I can see if you guys are making stars as well over on Instagram if you're doing that. So I will be heading off. Have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Be safe for Thanksgiving if you're in the US. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you all again well before Christmas. All right, bye.